Hey guys, welcome to the final review of Shin Matsunaga month. This is my review for the MS-06R-1A Zaku 2 Principality of Zeon Shin Matsunaga's Custom, which is a mouthful. This is one I've been talking about all month. This is the P-Bandai version of this kit, and we will talk about the differences a little later on in the review, but for now, let's just talk about the kit, what comes with it, and what the general deal is. That being said, So the build process for this is fairly standard, I'd say. You know, it's almost exactly like this. It's almost exactly like any Zaku MG that you might have built. It's not hard. The only thing, I believe I mentioned it before, I finally found a system to get these off the runners, but these little tubes can be a bit of a hassle. I'm not the first one to bring it up, but what I would recommend is taking a tissue or a cloth or something and then pulling them off one by one. But I know I've not been the only one that's complained about these. Getting them on the springs or just getting them off the runner can be a bit of a hassle, but overall, it's a fun, enjoyable, if there's any kit I would recommend to any Gunpla builder, it would be the MG Zaku. My first kit that I ever built was a MG Zaku. It was the Char's Zaku. I definitely struggled with it at first. It's not the easiest, and I would never recommend it as the first kit, but I believe it is a kit that every Gunpla builder, from beginner to intermediate, even to advanced, should build. I believe it is the standard. I believe it is the best, like, designed kit. Look, there's no more praise I can give to it than just buy it. It doesn't have to be the Shin Matsunaga. It doesn't have to be, Gabby. It doesn't have to be a P-Bandai kit if you don't want, but when it comes to the P-Bandai kits, I've talked about it a number of times on my channel. A lot of them are these named Zakus in terms of Shin Matsunaga or Gabby Hazard in the Lightning, Johnny Raiden, all of them. And this is not the last named MG P-Bandai Zaku I will be talking about on this channel, but if you want to buy one, whether it's regular, standard release, or P-Bandai. These kits are a blast. They exemplify Gunpla in my opinion. So for the build process, I highly recommend. It's fun, it's enjoyable. It is Gunpla to me in a way. That being said, let's move on to accessories. So with this kit, you pretty much get almost the same exact accessories you get with the standard release, with one very notable exception which I'll get to, but you get the rifle, the heat hawk, the bazooka, and the other bazooka. I never know the name of the difference between these two, but it's the same ones you get with pretty much any standard Zaku. In terms of extra parts, you get a lot of extra parts with this, and a lot of them are the same. It's different colored pieces where for example, the helmet, you get an extra white one, an extra green one. You get a lot of these, which I'll talk about in a little bit, are the difference pieces where it's like, as you can see with the feet here, blue, it's the different colors. They, for some reason, decided to give you a number of pieces. So it could be cool if you want to customize, if you want to do it, but if you're just building standard, you're gonna get some extra pieces like this gray shoulder part. But other than that, I'll talk about them when we get the differences, but you get this nice axe, which looks very much in the same style as the Dozo Zabi, Garma Zabi, and Mukuve kits, where it's got this very royal feel to it, and I've never seen another kit that had this specific axe, And as I mentioned in the lore video, Shin Matsunaga was very good friends and very close with Dozelzabi, so it makes sense why this would be included in there. So I was pleasantly surprised. I actually didn't know it came with this kit. I'm definitely going to be posing it with this when I eventually put it up on the shelf, because these ones you get with every kit. I've got a dozen of these. They're pretty fairly standard and regular, so the fact that you get something that is unique with this kit is always useful. Whereas, like in the last review, I mentioned the Gelgu Geiger, you get absolutely nothing new except a different color on it. So it is nice that you get something, not just a difference like with the shoulder, but a unique part to this kit, which is always helpful, always useful, and that's one of my favorite things about the Gray Zeta. That being said, let's move on to articulation. The articulation on this kit is going to be standard. It's the same as this one, but to go over it really quickly, the head can turn 360, the arm can 360, elbow goes up about that much. You get about, one second, that much of a crunch, that much of an arc. The fingers are all individually articulated. The skirts can move. You get that high of a kick. Knee goes down that much. You get pivot in the feet, and the toe is individually articulated, as well as you get a little flap here, and these can come out, the spiked shoulder armor. Like I said, that's a fairly quick, simple rundown. If you want more detail, go watch the review for the standard Zaku that I put out earlier this month. But you get some great articulation. It can be a little it can be a little limited in some places, but there's nothing bad about it. You can get some really nice dynamic poses out of this. So that being said, let's move on. I want to talk about the differences between the standard and the P-Bandai Zakus. Some of them that stick out immediately are you get, instead of a shoulder armor like this, you get the spiked shoulder armor, and the difference is here, where you get the Shin Matsunaga logo. There is no Shin Matsunaga logo that comes with this one. What you get instead are these characters here, which I believe are Japanese, though please do not hold that to me. You put them on either end here, on both ends, sorry. Otherwise, it's a lot of the same stickers. You get red to go on a lot of the different parts, and then a bunch of warning stickers, but in terms of just the model kit itself, it is the same exact mold, I believe, with this being the difference. But then otherwise, you might not be able to see it from my camera, but these are two different shades. This is more like a gray white, and this is more like a cream eggshell white, which I really like this color. It's almost rose gold. I've never seen a kit in this color. I genuinely love that the kit. It's a unique color because it's not just standard gray white that you get on most kits and all the other Shin Matsunaga kits. So I like that it is a unique color where, don't get me wrong, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it is a non-standard Gunpla color, which, if you're wondering why I'm fooling around with this, the mono eye was in a weird position, but this is a new color. As you can see, it's black. It's this nice shade of blue. This is also a non-standard shade of blue. It's this very striking navy, not even navy, like aquamarine. It's really cool. But other than that, you get some standard where these are gray and this is black, this is gray and this is white. Let's take a look at the back. Backpack is black versus a different shade of dark gray here. But like I said, the overall build of this is exactly the same minus the shoulder armor, and you get an additional weapon, and you get some different stickers to put on, which is really cool. And I believe I mentioned it on the unboxing. I probably should have mentioned this in the build process, but you get a unique manual for this, which is always lovely versus, for example, the Gelgoog Jaeger, or most P-Bandai kits, you just get a standard manual and a little sheet that shows you differences. I always appreciate when Bandai prints out a unique, customized instruction manual for these. So overall, the similarities are pretty much the exact same, with a lot of aesthetic differences and one functional difference with a new weapon, which is always appreciated. So that being said, let's move on to size comparison. So here it is in size comparison. Normally I always put the Nightingale, but I wanted to get a nice little shot of all of the kits. It's a standard master grade Zaku size, where even if you want to take a look compared to a non-Shin Matsunaga kit, it's the same exact size as the Gabby Hazard, for example. Yeah, it's nice, it's weighty, it's hefty. It's obviously bigger than the other ones, but the Gray Zeta still tops it in terms of size. This is still one of the biggest master grades in terms of height, but then again, the Zeta standard is also big. So here is in terms of size comparison. So that is going to do it for the premium Bandai Shin Matsunaga Custom Zaku. This is a kit I would maybe not highly recommend, considering there's the same exact one, but if you're looking for a P-Bandai Zaku, you really can't go wrong with this. It is a unique color, it comes with a really cool accessory. Unfortunately, it is, as I mentioned, P-Bandai, it is not readily available, so you might struggle to find it, but if you can, it might be worth it. So that is going to do it. This is the final review for Shin Matsunaga month. This is not the final video. There's going to be one last one at the end of the month. It's nothing big. It's just like a little, hey, celebration of the month, little outro, and then telling you guys what's coming in the future. But that being said, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here the whole month, and I really appreciate it. Take it easy, guys. Gandamu, Gandamu, Shmo. Da 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 da.